you strapped in on a ride.
Oh, baby. Not as much energy right now in the bar as there was last night. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR show. Let's go. There it is. Hangover day here at the DNVR Bar. So hungover, man. We rode really, really high yesterday, and that sun came up bright and early. We're going to be talking about hangover takes. Not that many, though. Honestly, not that many, but we will be talking about the scale of confidence. Has Eric found some confidence?
I know. Well, I finally come out of my shell.
Come out of your shell a little bit, dude. Put your chest out.
Will you start believing in this team already, man?
That's so true. Eric's always down about him. We're going to talk about Reggie Jackson. Is he out? If so, what does that do for the team? Is there some silver lining maybe even to that? Somebody gets a run. And then at practice, there were some notes. Brendan Vogt was in the house. He's got some notes for us, or he was there to interview the guys, providing some notes. Then Harrison, you did a little tweet digging?
A little bit.
You can look at some headlines of what some people had to say just,
Receipt
I don't know,
collecting.
6 days ago?
Yeah, just didn't have to go back that far.
Whole takes usually don't get exposed 6 days later, but here we are. And then, of course, in the final segment, we'll go around the association and talk about, well, the Nuggets have impressed. Has anybody else? All that more. Harrison Wynn's in the house with me.
What's up, fellas? Hope everybody had a good night of sleep after last night's game. I didn't sleep for that long. I did get home, though, and then I saw a video of Miroslav riding around the parking lot with Eric's scooter.
That's right.
Yeah. That was a good one.
I shot that video. What'd you think?
I'm guessing you did. It was good.
He
Good,
directed it and edited it.
Good cinematography,
I
good,
thought so
good
too.
lighting.
I thought so too. I thought
really motion capture. It was good.
Over here, representing the Rams, it's D-Line Co.
that's right. I did not. I'm very tired. I'm very tired. Yes. I put it in the Slack today. Nobody responded. It's as per usual. I'm so worn out already, and I don't know how I'm going to feel when the playoff actually start.
Yeah, I know.
D-Line, the playoffs started this week. Those were playoff games. That was playoff intensity that we saw this week. Oh, my God. And then, of course, from Pancha, Serbia,
You're not even
Miroslav
trying.
Cuk.
You're not saying that I'm representing the blue collar community.
Oh,
Yes. I'm more white collar myself.
That's the daddest
I'm
joke
gray-
you could have
I'm
possibly
gray collar.
started with.
Great call.
Miroslav is a dad.
I am a dad, yeah.
So, Serbian
Yeah,
dad
some
over here.
guys. Yeah.
Miroslav went to Taco Bell earlier today.
Did you really?
He's
I
an
did.
American.
I did.
Yeah.
I did go to Taco Bell like 30 minutes ago, and I was so ashamed of what I got, I didn't even record it.
What did you get? Hold on, tell us.
Well, now you just might as
is
well have recorded it.
Well, yeah, I took like the dozen of little Cinnabons.
They have like Cinnabon poppers. They're not. It's like not even Taco Bell.
That's hilarious. That's what he thinks Taco Bell is.
I wanted to have something sweet, so yeah.
Mission
So I'm gonna
accomplished.
go to Taco Bell. That's what
So
I'm
I
gonna do.
so I thought like I'm gonna have half of it, like it's too much, and I just ate all of it. So
He's
yeah.
an American.
He's a true American.
Yeah, I'm really.
He's on a sugar buzz right
I'm really
now.
ashamed. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's too funny, man. Well, hangover takes. Let's go to the hangover, Kale. Last night's game is a tough one. Honestly, last night's game, there is no hangover. That's my take. Usually there's some kind of secondary perspective on it. Miroslav, you weren't on the post-game show, so your hangover take should be a little bit easier. What did you wake up thinking about that game?
I was thinking about, am I too like delusional, thinking like the Nuggets might be like possibly the second best team of the last 20 years after the 2017 Warriors?
Yeah.
And then I just browsed through my favorite like national level podcasts just to see what my favorite people are saying. And you know what? People are going wild right now.
Yeah, people actually are.
So yeah, I don't think we're that crazy, or I'm that crazy thinking that like if you check out the stats of the top 4 guys on the Nuggets in the first 3 games, like all of them are averaging above 18 points. And that's happened for the last time in the NBA playoffs, like in 1990. It was like Houston Rockets with Sleepy Floyd and Hakeem Olajuwon there. So it's just if Jamal Murray had a better shooting nights in these 3 games, because he's shooting like 36% from the field and 25 for 3. If he was better than that, they would actually be as good as 2017 Warriors, I think.
What's the craziest thing you've heard? Have you listened to any pods today? Like national pods? Is the street saying
Bill
anything wrong?
Simmons right now has Jokic at the Bird and Magic level.
We listened to that last night on the drive home. We were listening to that.
I actually
Like
really
he's already there. He doesn't
that's
have
the floor.
He doesn't have to win another championship to get there. Right now, he's there.
Well, he said that you need the accolades to match it. You can be that caliber player, but
Right.
the accolades won't match. But he says he thinks they're that caliber player.
Yeah,
Look how far
that's
we've come.
That's something.
I mean,
I actually re-listened to that podcast this morning again, just to be sure we weren't like high or
Miroslav,
anything.
like, I gotta get
here's the
hyped up
thing:
this
we were
morning.
making Jokic Bird swap graphics for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we're
totally.
like, oh, really? Crazy. Yeah, we know.
Nate Jones had the tweet a couple days ago. This was before last night, where if Jokic wins a championship, he's gonna have to have, what did he say? Like uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
What are those uncomfortable conversations?
They're going to be very comfortable for me.
I know, but like,
Yeah,
is
we're-
it?
The most comfortable conversation I've ever had in my life.
I know. What's more comfortable, those conversations or the pile of sleeping bag and blanket that I wrapped myself in at 5 a.m. and was in until about 10 minutes ago? It was very comfortable.
TMI.
Wait, T-my.
But like, are those uncomfortable conversations where Jokic is at the level Bill Simmons has him at? Or are they higher than that?
I
Like,
can't wait to find out.
looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I love. You know what though? Here's what I will say. And I'm a paradox here. I'm a conundrum because I love Yoke. And you'll notice that oftentimes, like, that's almost my first thing is I want to run to Yoke because I just think he's so special and so great. But I almost am ricocheting the other direction now because this team is so special, man. And this series so far has been, I think Jokic has been very, don't get me wrong, 28, 14, and 9 is his average on 70% true shooting. So what I'm about to say, I'm not saying, don't take it too long. I think it's still, like, unimpressive in that I feel like he's in about fourth gear. He's not in fifth gear yet.
No.
He's not in sixth gear. He's not in overdrive. And so I look at that. Jamal Murray's missing shots. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, KCP, they're shining. The bench guys are... This team, man, is what is so special to me in this very moment.
I mean, it's absolutely the case. However, this team is Nikola Jokic. He has terraformed this team. Like this, wherever he went, whatever team he ended up on, if given the opportunity, a team like this would arise around him with players that are specialists, that are, he just demands it. Not loudly, not like Michael Jordan. He won't back you down in practice.
So
he just
true.
is so excellent in his preparation, in his approach. And everything he does is the truth. And so, like, what are you supposed to say? You can either get in line or you can just find a new squad. Like, you can be Bones Highland if you want and
that one hurts.
not see the light and, just go look for personal accolades elsewhere and see how it goes. It's not going to go well. Or you can just sort of, like, understand, as Aaron Gordon has, that it's not always about the way that you thought it was supposed to go. Oftentimes there's a larger organization, there's a larger thought involved, and everybody that's sort of seen that light is now turned into a sum greater than their parts, which is hard to imagine because the parts are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I started with like the Warriors comp, but it's not a fair comp. I believe the Spurs comp is much better for the Nuggets, because of the size of the market and also the personality of Nikola Jokic and Tim Duncan, for instance. So I was thinking, so what else does this team need to do to convince everybody that they are new Spurs, new team that can win like 20, like 5 championships in 10 years? And it's like they need to see that gap between Jokic and all the other guys in the starting lineup to kind of be decreased because on Spurs it wasn't as wide as it is on the Nuggets, and I believe these playoffs might actually bring us there because
Really?
It's a good point.
guys are having amazing numbers.
Yeah.
Like numbers are crazy. So I could see it actually like a development of a team in that direction, that we think of them more of a super team, home built super team, than like one superstar. How to go it like
Yeah.
unit.
I like what you said, D-Line, about how
Oh,
one little thing. You had
Can't clip that.
one little thing I like there.
Did you
where
hear
you
that?
said that Jokic almost, because he's terraformed the team.
Yeah.
That last game 3, to me almost felt like a guy that could step back because the machine of which he has helped been the most, it's running now on its own. And it was almost like, wow. I mean, he's obviously still a part of it. He's the fulcrum. But it was almost like we kept saying he's going to get aggressive in the second half. Well, fourth quarter, he's going to get aggressive. It's almost like he doesn't need to be. It's just now working, and he just has to be there, and it works. And I do think he's going to need to be more aggressive going forward. But at least they have this level where their floor now is sweeping the Lakers in the first round.
It's the floor, and like you were saying earlier, I don't think they've played a good game yet.
Yeah.
They've played
Not by
3
their standards.
mediocre games, man, and they're up 3-0. And I really wonder what people would be talking about, to go back to that point, if the Nuggets had looked like the Nuggets in these last 3 games. If they had won every game by 20 points, what people would be saying then.
Yeah.
Because it probably would be up a level from what people are saying now with, 3 wins over the Lakers, 3, good, but not elite A-level games yet.
Is it possible that the Lakers are better than we're giving them credit for?
No.
As a team, they're not good. But like LeBron and Anthony Davis are really good. Is it possible that, because like we're saying they haven't looked good, but they've won, maybe they just are being challenged by some good players and they're actually awesome? No, the Lakers just suck.
They are the team of the past. Like,
It's difficult. Like they had both LeBron and AD, as Harrison mentioned, playing against Nuggets bench, and like non-Jokic minutes are still like a +1 against them. So that's like crazy.
no, yeah, they are.
All the
that is
Nuggets are
crazy.
just insanely good.
They just, I don't know. They are compiled of tryhards and has-beens, and they are capable of getting past teams that don't know who they are. They are still capable of a shock and awe level of attack that can put other teams in a corner, and you start to think about the way that we'll get to later. Analysts will talk about this team, or they'll just simply repeat the names of the players that are on the team as their analysis as to why they'll win. You got Anthony Davis, you got LeBron James, D'Lo. I mean, how is this team going to lose in the first round? If you're a team that's like doesn't know who you are, and you're like, oh, we're getting beat up by the best player ever, you can recede, but they're not. They're just, they don't have it, man.
Yeah. LeBron and Anthony Davis still good. I think that there is a little bit of, here's what I think. The Nuggets obviously can play a lot better. I think the Nuggets are making them look horrible, more horrible even than they were. This is a team that went 28-14 down the stretch. This is a team that got rolling. Yes, they were playing against guys that weren't trying. Like the last month of the season is a little wonky.
To get into the play-in.
I know, but what I'm saying is Denver is making them look like horribly inept. They look like the the Spurs or something like that, like some low bottom dweller team, the Detroit Pistons. They're making them look like that.
Well,
and I think they're better than that.
They
but
look like
Denver,
a 7 seed.
Denver is, you think they look like a 7 seed?
I'm sorry, they look worse than a 7 seed, but yes.
But that's my point. They are a 7 seed, but they look worse than a 7
No,
seed.
I
And
mean,
my
they
point
look like a
is,
7 seed.
we talked last night, the one hangover take I have, like the updated take, is that, and we were talking about this earlier, Miroslav, last night I was like, the Lakers quit, shameful, and it's fun to dog on them. Let's not kid ourselves. You're feeling yourselves after the game.
Yeah.
But my updated perspective is Denver has this thing where they demoralize you, and I think Denver has thoroughly demoralized that team, and that's a power. Denver has... remember we said, is Denver intimidating? People would say nobody's intimidated by the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are intimidating now. And they're not intimidating in a traditional way. They're intimidating in this way of like, it doesn't matter what we do, they're going to make us look bad.
Well, they're like a machine with no human emotion.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Davis goes 11-12 from the floor in the first half of, game 2, and the Lakers are thinking, all right, like we got him now. Like Nuggets are going to lose some confidence. There's going to be some doubt that creeps in, like it would for any other normal team. But the Nuggets are just so battle tested, and they're a machine. Like they don't feel that emotion. Nikola Jokic, he doesn't feel that type of emotion. He just goes on like he always goes, and sure enough, they come back from 20 points down. That is intimidating because you can't crack them.
Yeah.
You can't break them.
All right, it's time for the scale of confidence, Kale. Let's wrap up this segment here. Now, this is not for the series. The scale of confidence, if you're anything other than an out-of-control Adam Mares right now, then what are you doing? But I think more for the title chances, the scale of confidence. Miroslav, you're our guest. You can go first. Bring it back up, Kale, so we can see the scale here. I always forget what it is.
I wish I could give you less than a Maris, but I just cannot. Like, we watched Celtics play against Miami, like against a really like mediocre Miami team that's really scrappy and like they're really well coached and all that. It's just like you've been beaten by Bam Adebayo hitting like 15 consecutive shots.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics do not scare me at all. So as we've been talking before, like second round against Minnesota might be our finals actually, and after that I kind of think like I think we can take Minnesota in 6 or 7 for sure, and after that I think it's gonna be like almost a cakewalk.
Wow, that's pretty confident right there.
Dang.
D-Line, where are you at with your confidence level?
Just because it always makes me feel good. I want to align myself with Dev.
Heating up.
I'm heating up.
Yeah.
I have not seen anything to make me feel like the Denver Nuggets should not repeat, but I also have not seen the Nuggets truly tested to this point. And so I certainly feel very confident in who they are and what they've shown. But, you know, like the next series is going to be a much different situation. And we don't know, like, you know, should my terrible premonition prove right, and it is the 76ers that we get, you know, like that's a thing. Like that would be a very different scenario. So, I mean, I've like the Nuggets have shown me nothing to knock my confidence down at all. It's just there's unknown. There's just like, you know, X factors that still exist out into the world. But I mean, and as Win has said, and I agree, like the Nuggets have not played a complete game to this point. So I need to see them like really firing on all cylinders to get to Atom status.
Okay.
But do you think they've been pushed to play a complete
That's my
game
point.
so
No,
far?
that's my point. Is that it's not they haven't. It's not that they have not risen to the challenge. A challenge has not been issued. So I just need to see them rise to the level of their competition, and the competition has been low to this point. So I mean, again, I just need to see it. That's all.
Don't you feel like this is part of the story of last year when everyone said it was the closest sweep in NBA
course.
history, and you're partly like, yeah, but you know why? Denver was not pressured. They like,
Right.
Well, you think that was Denver's best shot? They were up 3-0. They
I
won
know.
game 4 down
The
15.
think of the comedy now of just the
I know.
very, very notion that we all
they won
laughed
11
and scoffed at is that yes, it was the closest sweep ever.
Eric, it was 11 in a row, but honestly, it could have easily been 11-0 the other direction. Honestly, and
Yeah.
all 11 of
Right.
those games could have just as easily been the other direction.
I always hate watching
Yeah.
just like
you know, it's a make or miss league. Like one shot here, one shot
sure.
there.
another shot,
Yeah,
another
you know,
shot.
50-50 ball goes a different direction.
I was,
50-50. You
yeah.
go.
I was hate watching some Laker reactions, and as I'm known to do, and somebody said something that I actually like really actually agree with. They were, you know, they were bemoaning the idea that the Lakers did not tank that play-in to avoid the Nuggets, and the one guy was like, "Well, I think it was actually good because if you allowed the Lakers to artificially rise into the playoffs, it would allow them to overlook their glaring errors."
Are you talking about like last year? How they're like, we're a conference finalist.
Exactly.
All we need is Christian Wood, and
Exactly.
we can beat this Nuggets team.
Exactly.
We
So
were
it-
right there in the closest sweep.
So it's
man.
like very
Oh,
good
man.
for them to just get swept out of the way in
Yeah.
the first round. So they have to look in the mirror, have difficult conversations, be like, we don't have it. We
Jackson
Oh,
Hayes.
it's actually a great way to flip the narrative for them. This getting swept is good for the Lakers.
So they can get sober or something like that.
Harris
Yeah.
is going to be so good on ESPN. I can't wait. He's going to be unbelievable.
I mean, now they can really, you know, rebuild their team
Yeah.
I'm
by
actually
getting
n-
like Trae Young.
I'm actually not hate watching the Lakers spots. I'm actually love watching the Lakers spots because I'm really enjoying what these guys are saying, and they're like really low on the team. So
What can you do?
Give them credit. It's like
Yeah.
On the scale of confidence, though, I think I'm
appropriately
measured. I mean, my feeling about this team right now is the same exact feeling I had heading into the playoffs. It's pretty much stayed the same. This is about how I thought the series would go. It's played out. Every game, honestly, like has played out kind of like how I envisioned it. Nothing's really been too surprising about this series so far. I think there's definitely been some encouraging signs. The Nuggets' second unit, I think, has been really encouraging. How they're in the positives with Nikola Jokic off the floor, like that's massive. And there's also a lot of room for growth. So I'm Appropriately measured.
I think I'm also Harrison, appropriately measured. My perspective is no different than it was, honestly, a week ago. The Nuggets are doing what they're supposed to do. The one thing I'll say is Denver always wins the ugly ones. They just seem to have a knack for that, and that's what's happened so far.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them win a pretty one.
Totally.
But the truth is, winning a pretty one in Game 4 to make the sweep really wouldn't tell us anything.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? They need a pretty win against
Nothing
a
else
great
this
team.
series is going to tell us anything.
Hey, we're just playing out the string now. So, all right, let's take a break on the other side. Update on Reggie Jackson from practice and Michael Malone and Jamal Murray speak. I like the things coming out of practice. We'll talk about that on the other side.
Stay tuned.
Miller Lite, it's Miller time here on the DNVR show, here
Oh,
at the
yeah.
DNVR Bar. Miller Lite, great tasting, only 96 calories per 12 ounces.
They
The
really-
best light beer out there.
And it can really help wash down some Cinnabon bites, Miroslav, if you're looking to really get into Colfax.
Yep. The true Colfax.
Cinnabon bites and a Miller Lite. Let's go.
A Miller Lite, they keep it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters most. A light beer that tastes like beer, less filling. The original light beer since 1975, perfect for any occasion. If you're watching a Nuggets game, an Avs game, hanging out with some friends, you're out at a bar. Times change, but you can always enjoy the great taste of Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/DNVR, MillerLite.com/DNVR. You can also find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Also, guys, get signed up with Underdog Fantasy today.
Hell
If
yeah.
you sign up with code DNVR, you get a $100 deposit match.
I did this. I'm in.
You're
Me
in?
too.
I'm in.
Also, they give out some really automatic wins, like Jokic over 0.5 points last night.
He
I
hit
should have
it.
ta-
He
I-
hit it.
I should have taken that.
Got that
he
early
hit it.
on.
Yeah.
I went under.
Felt risky. Huh?
I went under. I don't know what I
Oh,
was doing.
you idiot. No, you should have gone over.
But the playoffs are here.
Imagine if they did that for D'Angelo Russell.
Right. You have to think about that one.
Lakers fans, sign up now. If he gets over 0.5 points, you win $100.
The playoffs are here. Our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports. The absolute easiest. They got their pick'em game. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. Make entries of all basketball and hockey. You can mix and match as well across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money. It's also just a lot of fun. Underdog available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, even Canada as well. The app, super easy to use. The website, really easy to use as well. New customers get a pick'em special in the lobby when they sign up. Underdog, they're also running a ton of different promos, bonus cash, airdrop specials, giveaways, and more throughout the playoffs as well. Follow them at Underdog Picks on Twitter. Sign up today with the promo code DNVR. Get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special in your lobby. Underdog Fantasy with code DNVR. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.
We back? Nuggets had practice today, although I don't know what kind of prep. Probably a film session based on the looks of what was going on out there. I'm going to start with the big news. Vinny Benedetto reported today that Reggie Jackson was at practice with crutches and a walking boot. Michael Malone, though, went on to say he was questionable for tomorrow.
It's wild, but NBA players do that all the time, where they're in a full body cast and then they just play.
Questionable.
Or they have Bell's palsy and it doesn't matter. They just score 50
that's
points.
wild. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Reggie Jackson, look, if you win tomorrow, you can have Reggie Jackson might get 9 days off, 8 days off. He might get a really long rest. So for me, I look at this and I go, I highly doubt he plays tomorrow. But my big question, Wind, if he doesn't, could it sneaky be good for the Nuggets? Not because I'm trying to shit on Reggie, but just could it be good for Denver to be forced to get a look of what it would look like if they do have to zig later on and not play him?
Yeah, I think there could be a silver lining, absolutely. And look, when we were heading into the playoffs, I think we all realized that we could be heading down a track, and if things went a certain way, by the conference finals, maybe Reggie Jackson was just out of the rotation anyway. Like, that has always seemed like a possibility that could come about. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely could be a silver lining. The Nuggets did experiment with some non-traditional point guard lineups late in the regular season with Christian Brown on the floor with Nikola Jokic in those Reggie Jackson minutes. They went okay. Some good, some bad. But yeah, I would doubt he plays tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily good from the standpoint that the Nuggets will find other players that they can rely on. It's just like not the time of year for that. But
Yeah.
I think it will allow them, if they so choose, to shorten the bench, which is something that they'll do as the playoffs go on. And it, like call a Reggie here. Like, we weren't getting. It's not like you're getting a lot of production out of it. It's not like you're heavily reliant on what he's bringing you. Going without a no point guard lineup, either giving more minutes to Justin Holiday or stretching out, giving Jamal more minutes, and just kind of finding no point guard lineups where Jokic is essentially the point guard, things like that. You could allow you to get creative. So I think from that standpoint, like allowing them to become a little bit more playoff truthful in the way that they are running their lineups is maybe a good thing.
Can you imagine giving Justin Holiday, how many minutes would it take for him to get 23s up?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, man. 20 possessions.
I mean, he got 4 up. Yeah, I got 4 up yesterday, man. On the court for 3 possessions, got 4 threes.
He's got 36 per 36.
You just need to figure out what to do in those 8 minutes while Jamal is not on the court. And I think it's like a sneaky bad thing for load on Aaron Gordon or on Nikola Jokic, because one of those guys is going to be the one that need to bring the ball up, because I don't think they're going to trust Christian Brown that much in a playoff game.
They'll divvy up.
So, yeah, I'm thinking like probably Aaron Gordon and maybe Nikola Jokic as well. I mean, Nikola has been coasting kind of so far, so for one game it shouldn't be a big problem, but I wouldn't be like super excited about their chances if it was an extended missing games from Reggie. I think the Nuggets really still need Reggie, just like a safety blanket or a buffer for ball handling. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be only one game, and then we can
he will have a long
integrate
time
him back.
Do you think Denver shortens the rotation, or is there a chance that they expand it to include somebody who has not yet played? Holiday's played, DeAndre Jordan's played. Is there any chance of a Zeke or a Strother?
No.
No, and no
I
pick
think
yet
0.
either. Yeah,
I really don't think
it's
there's
not the
a
time of
chance.
year for that. It's just it's like not. I would be shocked.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So
I mean,
if anything,
Probably
contracting the rotation, not expanding.
right.
it.
I mean, Reggie Jackson, he's a +6 in 25 playoff minutes so far. He hasn't been killing you. I don't think he's been good, but he hasn't really hurt you to a point where like you're in danger of losing a game because of his minutes. He's just not playing enough for that to be a possibility. And like Miroslav said, just having him on the floor to bring the ball up, there's something to that. Like, that helps you out in a small way. So I don't think it's going to hurt Denver that much in the aggregate, but like, is it nice having him out there? Yeah. I mean, it is nice having just a quote-unquote point guard out there to do point guard type things.
Michael Malone spoke. He says he believes the team has a lot more to show. That's like one of his top notes, which I will say this, man. I always talk about Michael Malone's energy and what he brings to pressers. I would say it has like almost stern confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence, but that is like emotionless. Whereas last year he was really firing the team up and throwing some barbs. He's kind of like not mad at the team. How could you be mad? They're showing traits that I think he appreciates, but also like, yeah, we're not playing that good. He did mention Peyton Watson. He said he's playing great and he doesn't look like a fish out of water. Sometimes the story is the thing you're not talking about. We're not talking about Peyton Watson's first playoff games. You know what? We're not talking about it. And he's had really good moments.
Yep.
But for the most part, he has been either good or not noticeable. And that's a huge thing for him.
Yeah, I mean, I said this a few whenevers ago, but like name that has not been evoked since these playoffs begun is Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
Like, we're not bemoaning the loss of Bruce Brown the way that everybody thought we would be, the way that everybody, like that every person on the national level that doesn't pay attention to the Nuggets, understandably, like looks at what it is the Nuggets lost, all of the veteran leadership and the toughness that Bruce Brown brought, all of these things that you can't expect to replicate by bringing in rookies. We've been getting from rookies, and that's exactly right. Like, you would just be like, oh man, you guys lost Jeff Green, you guys lost Bruce Brown, and it's very noticeable, that bench unit. And obviously we've been saying it the whole time. Like, Bruce Brown was great in the playoffs, but he wasn't good for the season leading up. It's like he brought you a spark and he brought you energy. And I'm not trying to talk down about what Bruce Brown had brought in any way, shape, or form, but like, it's not irreplaceable. And because the Nuggets are such a complete unit, and you see it, like, you just see just guys that come in, just floor slappers can come in and make a difference.
Malone did reference that the Lakers had 70 points in the paint last game, which is wild.
I didn't notice that.
I know. I didn't even know. That's an enormous
Did a lot of those
amount.
come
What was it?
late in the fourth quarter, like in the last 3
Like
minutes?
Aaron Gordon had 40, so
Yeah, Aaron. So say this stat again. I'm sorry.
The Lakers had 70 points in the paint.
They did?
An enormous
Lakers.
amount.
The Lakers did?
Yeah, that's what according to my
Like last
No,
night.
Did they even score
12
70
hours
points?
They did. They had 70 points in
I
the
thought
paint.
you said Nuggets. Sorry.
Really? I did too.
I know. Well, I was surprised by that number as well. But 70 points in the paint is an enormous amount. Now, the Lakers live in the paint. They're one of the good teams at that trait. But 70, if you told me that the Nuggets gave up 70 points in the paint, I'd say, oh, they either lost or maybe they eked one out. Not they won comfortably. So, but nonetheless, something to clean up. Not every team's going to be as bad as this. And then Michael Malone also mentioned nobody's making threes outside of Jokic and MPJ. He feels that's where they can be better. And if he had one criticism, and this is my interpretation, our videos are up on our YouTube channel and on Twitter, so you can check out either place. So I don't want you to think I'm misleading you. But this was my interpretation of one comment, and I think Wind agreed with me. He was asked about Jamal Murray, and he said, look, I think Jamal is getting pretty good looks off of double teams. There were fewer blitzes when Jokic was off the court than there was in games 1 and 2. I think because Denver beat it so resoundingly that they had to make an adjustment. But he did allude to Jamal taking taking more tougher shots than he needs to. And I think he was kind of referencing, early on, playing into a crowd and taking the shot. I don't think it was a harsh criticism, but I do think it's something. And you know what it made me think of? Last year in Game 2, I thought that's why Denver lost. I thought he turned the scale up to be a little too aggressive looking for a shot.
Game 2 versus the Heat.
Versus the Heat in the finals. But he immediately learned from that, I thought, and played the best basketball of his career in Games 3, 4, and 5. And I kind of get the sense Murray will do the same here, where he's probably slid the scale, playoff Murray, get it going, this or that. Hasn't happened, and I do wonder if there's a little scaling it back down. Just a hair, that'll help him out.
He's just been playing weird on offense, I feel like. Like, the rhythm's off, the timing's off. He's, getting into the lane and, forcing up these weird runners and, pump fakes. And it's just, not... It doesn't look like Jamal Murray out there. It doesn't even look like the shots that playoff Murray took last year.
Right.
Even if he was making them. Feels like he's rushing a little. His offense has just not flowed so far. Now, he's had moments, absolutely. The fourth quarter of Game 2, of course that looked like the best version of playoff Jamal Murray. Other than that, though, he just hasn't pieced it together for stretches. And it's also weird because it's not like the Lakers are throwing these really imposing defenders at him. Next series, he's going to have to go up against Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, two perimeter defenders that are way better than anything the Lakers can throw at him. So that's definitely something to watch, I think, in Game 4. Can Jamal Murray find easier shots?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
On the Jamal point here, we interviewed him as well. He had this great line. He actually had a lot of great lines. It was a very good interview. I highly encourage people to go check it out. But he says this line, "My project right now is getting CB ready because I know how much he can impact the game."
Yep.
First of all, the language of that D-line, there's leadership, taking a guy under his wing. I'm talking to him a lot. And then there's when he says, "My project."
Yeah.
I love that because that tells me he's very invested in what CB brings to this team.
The man is coaching. This is why, he is in my opinion, the rightful coach of the year that will never get
No. Jamal Murray.
Oh, Jamal Murray said that.
This is what Jamal Murray said. My project is Christian Brown.
Wow, I thought we were talking about Malone.
No, it sounds like a coach.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
That's what I thought.
That's unbelievable. I love that.
Me too.
I love that even more. I was about to get on my soapbox, and I'm going to get on an even higher soapbox. That is unbelievable. That is, wow, you want to talk about now not a collection of players, but a system, a fully functioning, multi-tiered project system where there are levels in place and each one teach one. And it like there is a Nuggets culture that is now permeating the entire organization where players take it upon themselves to teach everybody and get everybody on the same level. That is fucking incredible. I'm jazzed. Bring up the scale of confidence. I just hit Adam levels.
Out of control.
I'm out of control.
So just to hop on back on Malone quote about Jamal, I mean, the Nuggets are not winning the championship unless Jamal is playing great.
Yes.
And their top priority right now should be to help him achieve that. Like there must be some little things the team can do to help him out and get him out of this little rut he is in right now, outside of those great crazy stretches he already had. And then the second priority should be to get CB on speed, because he actually might help a bit with ball handling as well. So he might be this one surprise guy that might have more to offer than what all of us think he can at this point of his career, because Peyton is coming up and he's playing like good enough to stay in the rotation. And if CB can take just one little step further than what he's been doing so far in last year, I think that's like a big win for the Nuggets.
The other thing, Jamal was asked a lot. There were a lot of questions today, both from Malone and from Jamal, about Aaron Gordon, which I love. He's sort of the story, and everybody. I just love when all different guys are getting praise. But the Michael Porter stuff, what to me was the most interesting, because Michael Porter and Murray are the two guys that I don't know have always had the greatest chemistry. But I think their chemistry is getting stronger. And Murray raved about Michael Porter. Talked about his confidence, knowing that we're trying to find him, shooting with so much confidence. And he just talked about how much his game has grown and how much everybody likes looking for him. Jokic has echoed those sentiments. This is the story of the Nuggets playoffs so far. They are so freaking connected right now. And it's just so cool that everyone, including Murray, everybody across the board is just talking we and talking about my project is the guy off the bench. Michael Porter's unbelievable growth. Aaron Gordon's so good to see him get a shine. And it's really cool to see. I feel like the Nuggets' spiritual connectedness is at all-time highs.
This is why I actually feel bad when we say that they have been playing like bad games, bad three games.
Right.
Because honestly, it's just been Jokic coasting, and Jamal having like a rough start. Everybody else,
shooting.
Aaron
rough
Gordon's
shooting
been
stuff.
great.
Yeah,
Michael
and
Porter's
everybody
been
else
great.
has been awesome, actually.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. I think the Christian Jamal relationship is interesting. They have lockers right next to each other. I feel like Jamal's kind of taken him under his wing ever since Christian got
You've been
to
on
Denver.
this, yep.
I feel like those two are really close. But yeah, that's great to hear. And to your point, I mean, Jokic had the quote last night about how he was asked how did the Nuggets read and react offense build over time, and he called back to his chemistry with Gary Harris and Jameer Nelson and Wilson Chandler and said, first you need to learn how to play together, and then you need 2 to 3 years to really figure your teammates out. And we've joked about this, but like Nuggets basketball could save the NBA. Just the step-by-step rebuild, not skipping steps, doing it the right way, like committing to the vision, like not panicking. And I feel like there's this coming together of the NBA community after that quote Jokic had about like, yes, that is the right way to do it. And like if the Nuggets do win it this year, I feel like that might be the biggest storyline that comes out of it.
Oh my God.
Like you have to build a team this way now.
At the end of mercenary ball, like would be
They might just kill it forever.
They're humiliating it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Especially because
if they
that
beat
is
the Lakers. The Timberwolves
The Timberwolves are
kind of more on the Nuggets
100%.
side of
I wonder
things.
why is that, do you think?
But then the
because
Clippers
of, Mark Ward.
potentially, or Mavs.
Alex
I
Rodriguez.
meant A-Rod. I meant A-Rod.
Yeah.
It turns out Tim Connolly is just saving the NBA.
He might have done it, man. He might have done it. But honestly, Murray talked about that too. Just the chemistry that they have is unparalleled, and it's not just, it's off the court too. There's less doubt. There's more comfort, and they've all built a bond. And they're just also adamant that their success is because of this continuity and this chemistry that they have.
Bro, this is the craziest thing is that it's the way that the modern NBA is structured. It is so heavily focused on the individual. Everyone is like instructed to build their brand, to have their thing, and it's not about like creating these teams. It's not. It's just not. That's not the way that the marketing dollars go, and it has permeated the culture of the NBA. And it's wild because like it should be. This is how it should be. Like you should be with your teammates. It should be amazing.
Yeah.
Like it should be a very fun environment. Like when you used to play and go to AAU tournaments and things, and you got to go on bus rides together, and like you had a bonding thing. And it's like you just sense that in a lot of teams, in a lot of environments in the NBA, it's just like work in the worst way. Like they go to work, they play together, they don't talk a lot of times. You hear stories later. It's just like, why is it not like that? It should be. That's what a joyful experience. What a joyful life it should be to just play NBA basketball, hang out with guys.
Yeah.
It's like it's awesome, and it's like something that should exist because everybody else looks at NBA players and athletes in general as something to aspire to. Like they should be living like joyful lives. Like get it together, you idiots.
That's true. It's hard to do, though, man. It's hard to do. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, let's have some fun. Let's dig up some
Finally!
old headlines.
Let's go.
And laugh at the people who wrote them.
Guys, if you like beer,
I like beer.
check out the Pub Pass. Got a special DNVR hookup for you from Pub Pass.
We got to get this from Miroslav. I mean, he's not here for that much longer, but he's making quick work of becoming an American.
Yeah, somebody can lend me the pass for a couple of days.
The Pub Pass gets you buy one, get one, $1 and even free beers at more than 300 breweries and bars in the greater Denver area. And the deals refresh 30 days after you use them. So you can come right back again and again. You also get access to the entire country with the same subscription. Just $5 a month. Pub Pass pays for itself the
Brilliant.
first time you use it. It's an absolute no-brainer. If you're somebody who bounces around to a lot of breweries in Denver, get Pub Pass. $5 a month, pays for itself pretty much immediately. Tons of specials on there. Buy one, get one, $1, even free beers at more than 300 breweries around Denver. DNVR fans can get a 1-year subscription to Pub Pass for half off using the promo code DNVR. It's a year of access. The best craft beer app in the country for about $2 a month. Download Pub Pass now in the App Store or Google Play and use code DNVR when you sign up. Also, Circa Resorts and Casinos. That's where we stay when we go to Vegas. You know what's sneaking up in a couple months? Summer
I know, dude. I wish we could just get past all of this and get to Summer League.
Dude, we have
Gotta
to do
win
the
the
dumb
championship
playoffs
first,
so we can
yeah.
get to the real events.
Gotta
Summer
go
League.
win the championship.
I'm trying to stay on
first.
Thomas and Mac.
But when we're out at Summer League, of course, we're staying at Circa. They got the best
That really is
sports
closer
book.
if you think, though.
Yeah. You remember last year the parade happened and the draft was like 11 seconds later?
That's the best, man. I actually love that.
We
your
done
your
no-
draft takes can be even crazier.
Yeah, we've done no
it just doesn't
research.
We gotta
because
start putting together a trip for Vegas. Let's see if people want to go to Vegas and play some blackjack with us.
Oh,
You can
boy.
stay at Circa Resort and Casino, the world's largest sports book. Awesome casino with 2 different levels, stadium swim. The resort's awesome. It's adults only, so you don't have to worry about kids running around either. Don't have to get out your ID every time you're at the slots or at the tables or whatever. It's the best place to stay. You can get 20% off your stay with code DNVR20 at Circa Resort and Casino. DNVR20 for 20% off.
We are back here, segment 3. Harrison, you did some tweet digging.
I did.
There
I
were
love
people that just a week ago really had some takes on this series.
There were, people were firing off their takes ahead of Nuggets Lakers, and some people look like idiots.
No.
Some people look pretty bad.
Me, I said 5 games. What a moron.
I know, me too. Our tweets are not featured in this section. though.
Thank God.
Oh.
It was just us.
We should do
roasting
that.
us.
We just do, we need to do a self-owned section.
We should do a cell phone this
I was
offseason.
getting really nervous.
Kale, could we bring up the first prediction?
Oh my God, I love this
This
one.
is from our friend Nick Wright. He
man.
actually had
Oh, guys.
Lakers in 6.
Yeah.
Which is really funny if you think about it, because he had the Lakers winning and closing out the series
In them.
on the road
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah. That's how good LeBron is. And how bad Jokic is.
Right.
So wait, are we going to watch this? Because this is even more hilarious. Oh, you want to watch it? Oh, that's okay. Well, so the greatest thing, I don't know if you watched this clip, but what the posturing and the lying that Nick Wright does through this entire thing, he talks about how he was up late, but then he had to grind the tape, and he was up till 4
Yeah, that
a.m.
was
and
great,
then
yeah.
it was time to start watching games. And
But
it was
there's
like,
never a specific note. It's always like, I just watched the games.
I
watched
just
the
grinded
tape.
tape.
I have a theory.
But did you look at the data?
Oh,
And then he
I-
also
yeah.
looked at the data.
he looked at the data, and then he had
Yeah.
to watch. 4 a.m. He started
Body
to
of
watch
work.
games.
Yeah.
I have a theory about this series. The more tape you watched to make your prediction about Nuggets Lakers, the worse your prediction was.
Yes.
If you start as soon as you start grinding tape,
The more grinding you did, the worse your prediction
It's a
was.
very easy one to overthink for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, his prediction off the table already.
Yeah,
You
off the
know,
table. Nick Wright, honestly, man, the guy, poor guy. You know the move in media. You double and triple down on a take, and like on the longest timeline, you can be right. Oh, LeBron sucks. This is
Right.
what's-
Right.
And eventually, he's going to lose, and you'll be right.
you're like, LeBron's going to score
unfortunately-
0 points. You're like, in 50 years, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately for him, the Jokic bill keeps coming due every year for him.
Tough luck.
Tough break.
Next one from the anonymous scout.
Oh yeah.
An anonymous scout is picking the Lakers to defeat the Nuggets in 6
Is
games.
Nick
Bro,
Wright an
thank
anon-
God they went anonymous, man.
Here's
But
here's
is
the
this-
reasoning.
Is this Nick Wright grinding tape and being a scout?
He have 2 jobs.
The reasoning, quote, I'm picking the Lakers because they've got their mojo going.
Oh my God.
They played great at the end of the year.
Somebody scouts talking about mojo.
They got their lineup set with Rui Hachimura.
Oh my God.
Denver's just not as good as it was last year.
Oh no. Oh my God.
This
They-
anonymous
just-
scout needs to be out of a job.
Just a one point of clarification. They won more games this year than they did last year.
It's insane that is just overlooked. I do love the idea of like a scout for a playoff team coming in and be like, all right, tell us the rundown on the Lakers.
Vibes are
Their
mid.
vibes are great. Mojo's unbelievable right now. They have some mojo, man.
Yeah, they're
Oh, nice. Go out and scout the next team now. Great
they're
work.
like, listen, I got to tell you, their Riz is cringe.
That take sounded like a take of a Boy Scout and not an NBA Scout.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. You take that in your pipe, you
You
smoke
little Boy
it.
Scout.
You anonymous Scout.
This
Come to the light and get your
this
penance.
prediction came from somebody
Your
on
comeuppance.
TNT. Shaq picked the Lakers to win the series.
Can I tell you something, Shaq? Yeah.
He's afraid.
New Orleans.
He's afraid.
He's
We don't have to
turned
watch
on,
it. It's
he's
all right. We don't have
turned
to
on
watch it, Cal.
Jokic in the
Them all.
Nuggets.
He's
Denver
only
and the
turned because
Lakers.
he's afraid, man. Like he's
He doesn't want
giving it-
Jokic to take his spot.
Lakers.
Bro, hold on, pause it, Kale, here for a second.
Lakers
Because
were always-
here's the thing, man. I've heard multiple people now say that Yokes
Yeah, in
wins
the
the
Shaq-
title.
yeah.
He's in the Shaq tier.
No, this
you
is what
know
happened.
Shaq hates that.
This is what we do with betting,
Yeah.
where we bet for the thing we want to happen.
That's not true.
And when you are analyzing, you just try to speak the thing you want to be
Yeah.
into existence so that you can just neg the guy. Yeah, like you totally do that. Like if there's some
right.
guy that's like vying for your job, you're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. He's had some mistakes.
He's got to really prove it in the playoffs.
Here's a hot take. Shaq will come back around. This playoff series, when it's all said and done, I think he will. I think before Jokic retires or after he retires, Shaq will declare Jokic in his tier. I don't think he'll say better.
Oh, never.
But I think he will say
That will never
he's
happen.
the one guy that he looks at.
He's
and
gonna be
says,
like-
you know, he did it like me.
He's
He'll
gonna-
say, but I think I would have taken him.
No, what
but
he'll
I
say
respect him.
he'll
enough.
say like, you know, I did a lot to establish what it means to be a big man in this league,
Yeah.
and it's nice to see people coming up, taking that mold,
Yeah,
like
living up to my standard.
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
But he does talk about Akeem this way, and so like you know, I think that Yoke will enter in his mind that conversation,
yeah.
and then people will say he's hired, he'll lose it.
and then he'll go back on the other side.
Yeah, then he'll like just fight Charles
I wish I
Barkley.
could have played.
And he's
in the
like,
league
you know
with
what
this
Joker needs to do? He needs to get in
Yeah.
the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been nice if I could
Gotta
play
be a
with
big
somebody
man.
like Jamal Murray.
Got to be more like Arvydas Sabonis.
What else?
What do we
Raja.
have next here? Oh, this goes back to
Oh,
last
we don't even have to
summer.
watch this one. We all know this clip by
Anthony
heart.
Davis.
It was just like
Look
a
at
lot of
that face.
talking. You know, it's just
Look
like
at
a lot of
that face.
talking.
The
We
best
get it.
part about this
Me and
quote
Bron
Anthony
been having
Davis had last
conversations.
summer about the conversations was, quote, we can't wait to play them.
I know.
We should make
This is
a
like
graphic.
He should have waited. He should have waited.
this is
Can't
why
wait.
this is why I was just beside myself when I was like, why does anyone think this would be anything other than a sweep when they were so motivated to show up and show out on the opening day, and they lost by a lot.
You're not being fair though.
Oh,
they didn't
had
have
some
their
conversation.
mojo.
Yeah,
They didn't have their mojo.
That's
at that
right.
time.
That's
now
right.
they had their mojo.
Yeah, that's true. That's my bad. Hey, AD, I apologize.
Yeah.
Adam and I have been having some
Do
conversations.
better, dude.
And then I think our final one here. Oh,
God, we got to listen to this.
What
Can we
is
listen?
this one?
So this is Greg Jennings.
the wide receiver?
Yes. Oh, excuse me, James Jones. Sorry, James Jones. But also a wide receiver. Yes.
Let's hear what a wide receiver thinks.
Yeah.
So here's what he says. So
Whoa.
Can you turn it up?
Bron, Anthony Davis, 2 top 75 players. Round number 1, slick. I'm coaching.
I'll interpret this.
I listen very well. You said something very good yesterday.
Yeah.
They gonna be fresh.
They're gonna be fresh.
Nuggets right now. Bron, AD ain't got no wear and tear in the playoffs yet. It is time to go. LeBron James is 14.
He's 14-1 in the first round.
I got my faith in the King and Anthony Davis, and I expect them to get this done. I'm telling you, I know the Denver Nuggets wanted the Pelicans to win that
They
battle.
wanted the Pelicans to win. They did not want the Lakers, the Nuggets.
You do not want to draw Bron and Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. You do not want that to happen. And it happened, and it's here. And like Coach Ham said, we want all the smoke. I expect the Lakers to go out there and get this thing done.
So okay.
I love that.
So this is how you know it's top tier analysis is
Yeah.
that
He
had-
invokes the NBA 75 list.
he he only refers to a player in the NBA through a pet name he's given him. Bron.
Yeah.
So
That was
he's
pretty
like-
cringe.
He's like, so Bron, he does my favorite level of analysis where you simply list the players on a team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
He's
start
like,
naming
you tell
guys.
me Bron, AD, all these guys, it's the first round of the playoffs. The Nuggets were hoping the Pelicans would win so
That's
that they
some
could get the
hard-hitting
Pelicans.
reporting right
It's
there.
fantastic. There's another we shouldn't play, but you can watch later. Keyshawn Johnson, the same level of hard-hitting analysis, again, where they state the names of the players on the teams.
Incredible stuff. Is there any more, Kel? One more?
From the king himself.
Oh, no. What's he say?
We can't
LeBron
read it. We can't read
James,
it. Can you
if
read
you
it, Kel?
remember, this
He's got
Instagram
it.
post was made immediately after Michael Malone
Flamed him.
joked about his own retirement on
Yeah.
the Pat McAfee show.
Malone was hammered drunk for this interview. I mean, he was feeling
And
it.
LeBron said, I've been in Europe the last few weeks minding my business, and I hear I'm on your mind that much. Huh? And then he referred to himself as the sun. He said, I'm the sun. I stay on forever.
He's the son, as in he is the son to the Lakers,
true.
the
Son
daddy
of
that is the,
Michael
the
Malone,
Nuggets.
There you go.
That's an unfortunate phrase
Do
he
you feel
chose
like
for
he
himself.
sunned himself there?
He sunned himself. I love that his business is waving a European flag at Wimbledon or something. Just minding my business.
He's waving a French flag.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's take a break. On the other side, a quick wrap-up segment here where we talk about: is there anybody that's impressed you in the NBA playoffs that's not named the Nuggets?
If you need tickets to concert shows, sporting events, Nuggets games, Avs playoff games, Rockies games this summer, check out the Game Time app. You can use the code DNVR when you sign up. Get $20 off your first purchase. So $20 off a Nuggets game potentially. Maybe
Hell yeah.
Nuggets game 5.
Yeah, I don't. Might
If
not
necessary.
make much of a dent. We're getting into premium price time, but let's go.
Yeah. Game time's great. Last minute deals, flash deals, zone deals, all in pricing, seat views in the app, lowest price guarantee, game time ticket coverage as well. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem code DNVR, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Also, check out Red Hawk Roofing.
They were in the bar last night.
Yes, they were.
On their way to LA tomorrow, I'm sure.
If
Dude,
you have
nobody-
any roofing needs.
Again, nobody does it like Red Hawk Roofing. And by it, I mean life.
True, man.
They're great at life.
They're winning life.
It is hail season, though, for real.
Yes.
Somebody listening to the show is going to get some hail damage this spring. I promise you. I'm not saying that to be mean. That's
It
just how
might
it's
start
the
right
odds.
now, honestly. It's
right
starting
now.
to rain right now. Yeah, well, you're gonna get, if you're new to Colorado and you don't know what hail is,
You're about to find out.
you're fixing to find out.
Quality materials, decades of experience, quick response times, Colorado's best estimators and contractors. Call them up if you have roofing needs for your home or business. Tell them DNVR sent you.
There you go. All right, we are back here. Guys, I don't know how much playoffs you've been watching. Did you know there's a playoff game going on at this very moment?
I can
No.
see it on in the bar.
Started at 3:30 today.
I thought it was a replay, but then
Nope, that's
it's on
a
right
live
there.
game between the Bucks and the Pacers
Oh,
that started at
I don't watch
5:30
Eastern
Eastern.
And
for some reason.
the Pacers are up 20.
They are up 20 points after the first quarter. That's right, D-Line. They are smoking that Bucks team. Is there anybody that has impressed you, Miroslav?
Well, no Eastern team can impress me, honestly.
That's my
It's
guy right there.
incapable.
It just has to be the Thunder and the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Those two teams have played well so far.
The damn division, man.
And yeah, it is a division. And it's like, I really respect both of those teams. I think that we are like underselling Thunder a bit because they have been really good all season. Yes, we know they have that fatal flaw. They don't have a real big man to play against a guy like Nikola Jokic or, Nikola Jokic. So basically, it's just those two teams. And they're like the only two teams that are still unbeaten in the playoffs next to the Nuggets, of course.
Isn't that wild that the Northwestern Division 7-0 so far?
It's kind of how it happens. There ends up being, like in all sports,
know.
like a pooling of talent because it becomes an arms race in certain divisions. Yeah, the Wolves, man. Anthony Edwards specifically, like just being that guy, like beyond his, he still is, he's flawed in a lot of ways. Because we're
ruined, yeah.
we are so ruined at the idea of basketball now. Like that, if not for Nikola Jokic, like Anthony Edwards would be the most incredible player I could imagine at the moment. But it's like he just doesn't play the game like Jokic does. But just you want to talk about somebody that's so deeply unafraid of like Darvin Ham does not want the smoke, despite his best claims. Anthony Edwards wants the smoke. Like he wants it. He will get in Kevin Durant's face and essentially serve notice to him that his time is through and he is no longer the king. Like it's like that guy's going to be a player for years to come. I've been really impressed by his. He's it's not like an arrival because we've known, but it's just like another level for him.
I'm a little lower on Anthony Edwards personally than
Really?
most people, I feel like.
I'm higher on the Wolves right now than Anthony Edwards.
I'm so impressed. This is
Oh,
but he is-
that's,
but
that's
he
a
is
good
like-
take.
But he is like the thing
Face
about
of the
Anthony
league.
Edwards is he can win you a game, and that's I think what you're getting at. But he's a little bit more like
Well,
this even in this playoff.
I just to clarify, like I don't view the Wolves as a threat because of him. I'm just impressed by who he is.
Like
Yeah,
a
no.
freaking competitor.
His, the moxie he carries himself with is very impressive. I still think as a player, as a consistent top-tier playoff performer, we put the cart
Yeah, I
before
agree.
the horse a little with him. But Minnesota's done nothing to they've done nothing to go away from the notion that they're the Nuggets' toughest comp in the West. I still feel that way. I still think Denver should beat them, in 6 games at the most. But yeah, they've looked good.
Miroslav, we've talked a lot. You're not as afraid of Minnesota as I am.
Well, honestly, and we talked about this too. So they play really well without Ant. Like those 8 minutes can be really scary because they play like a real unit. There, the ball is moving really well without him. And I'm not crapping on him. Like he's a really good player. It's just the fact that he's gonna bail you out in a way, Nikola Jokic will never bail his opponents out by taking a dumb shot or just making a really, really bad decision.
But sometimes he also kills you because he hits 3 of those in a row.
Yeah.
Sure, but so does Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, well,
It's
Nah,
just
that's
like
not the same thing.
it's a higher rate.
I get what you're saying. I
It's
get
a
what you're
higher
saying.
rate.
That was a low blow, but
Yeah,
I
it's
get
a
what you're
higher
saying.
rate for Ant for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like what Ant does is he brings what everybody thought the Nuggets were losing from with Bruce Brown leaving. Like he just brings that like edge that you can't get from Cat.
He brings Jamal Murray. Like he brings
Yes.
that Jamal Murray energy, which obviously can be the best player on a court, even with Jokic out there. But I agree that they are lacking a Jokic. They are lacking that. And so Denver on paper should be more talented. But that matchup is the one to me that is personal because Monte Morris is there. They're in the division. Tim Conley's there. They know Denver well. There's these intangibles. And then I'll say this. I agree with you in this one way. The Thunder, the Nuggets, the Knicks probably, and the Wolves, these teams have great culture, man. And Denver's they're not gonna fold the way a lot of other teams fold mentally when Denver is beating them. They're also gonna have the Denver resolve of, oh, we're down 10 in the third quarter, like stay the course. They've built that equity up over the course of 2 seasons, in my opinion, so they'll be tough. They're definitely on the list for me. I agree with you that the Thunder have looked somewhat impressive in Game 2. I thought not at all impressive in Game 1, though.
It's true.
Thought they looked fraudulent. And then I'll say, the Mavs and the Clippers have not looked like what I expected so far.
They've looked worse than
Yes.
you expected.
They've looked a lot worse. And part of this is just like here's the thing with Mavs and why I'm zigging so hard on them. And look, it's early, but Lively and freaking Gafford getting beasted by Zubats. Like, Zubats is too big for those guys.
Yeah.
And it's been noticeable in that series. And I just go, okay, if that's Zubats, what's Yoke going to do to those poor guys? And that's a game breaker. So
I mean, look at the teams that were red hot heading into the playoffs. Other than the Nuggets, who
It's exactly
we're
right.
also red hot heading into the
Lakers?
playoffs. The Lakers and the Mavs, in particular.
yeah.
This is what I was saying, man.
They
Like,
won a bunch of games against half the teams they played were probably tanking, and the other half were just coasting as well in March and April, which everybody has deemed quote fake basketball. Yet people
Until
put a
it-
lot of stock in those teams heading
yeah,
into the
until it
playoffs.
like fits your narrative. It's so true.
The Mavs, by the way, are 1-1. They did get they're one of 2 teams to get a road win.
I don't mean
3
to,
teams.
I'm not like completely dismissing. I just mean like this is not surprising to me that they look a little bit less dominant when the playoffs come than they did down the stretch because you just don't know people's motivations. Like the basketball, like when people complain that the season's too long, like it is for a lot of teams. Like they really do pack it in. So it is. If you are a hungry team like the Los Angeles Lakers to make the play-in, you can go off and rattle off a run. You can fool Keyshawn Johnson and James Jones and Nick Wright.
the wide receiver.
Yes, because they don't actually pay attention to what is happening in the NBA. It's like easy to fool them.
At the same time, man, I think the Lakers would have made a good run against the Thunder. I think they would have made a
don't think
decent
so.
run against like
Definitely.
the Clippers. Like Denver is sucked the life out of them. They really did. I mean, look, they almost beat Denver in Game 2. Let's not act like that was a surefire thing, but Denver ripped their hearts out, and they've made them a shell of themselves.
There.
It's been really close, just like last year.
You know what, though? It actually hasn't. Here's the thing. This is the thing, because I want to make sure this is clear.
Dude, we're
Game 2
so
was close.
spag.
Game 2 was close.
Yeah.
That one, Denver
was.
in some ways got
Denver
lucky
led.
to pull it
I was
out.
there.
Denver led for 1 millisecond of that game. But games 1 and 3 are not close.
No.
Those were for a playoff standard. Those were not close games.
Yeah.
So,
They're
because
the
I know
same game.
people are going to say this. It came down to the fourth. Like, come on, kind of. Games
No,
1 and 3
when
kinda
people
came
look
down
at
to
the
end.
box score 5 years from now, that's
Yeah.
what they'll say. Oh, look pretty close.
Game
Game
Actually,
three.
I actually don't think so.
I
I,
don't
think
think so
we're
either.
we're to a point now where it's
I
like
think so
it just
too.
is so absurd to try and say that the Lakers are anywhere near the Nuggets level. That
All right, here's the last thing for tomorrow. I mean, who knows if it's a hard... Do you guys think it's a hard game? Is Game 4 the hardest? Michael Malone said it's going to be the hardest one of the series.
I actually don't think so. I think the
Well,
Lakers have a
I
lot of
don't-
quit
I
in them.
think it's going to look pretty similar to however games looked.
Here's the other thing, man.
Shocker.
I have a feeling, because this was true last year of Game 4, Remember how many Nuggets fans were there? Because they did the Western Conference. You won the Western Conference, so there was a whole ceremony, and there was all those Nuggets fans. I have a feeling tomorrow, even more so.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Laker fan who has tickets tomorrow, you are on the Game Time app right now trying to squeeze whatever last pennies you can
You
get
don't
out of
want
this
to be
and
there
like,
for that.
Why would you want to be there
You
for
don't
that?
want to watch Braun go out like that.
You don't want to watch Bron cry. Go out sad.
Oh, man. His last game as a Laker.
We were saying this, like, the Lakers are like have so much quit in them that they're not even looking forward to going to Cancun. Like, they just want to go home.
Yeah.
They just want to be hugged.
Eat ice cream. Watch
dude.
Ricky Lake.
They want
all
to.
day
Yes,
long.
they want to eat Cinnabons, bites.
They want to just go home and
By the
watch
way, I'm so
Keyshawn
glad
Johnson.
I went to Taco Bell while it
good
was
about
still
them.
not raining. So
Could have gotten really hairy there. All right, some super chats. The homie super chat not on off day.
Dude,
Hell
the
yeah.
sickos ride, baby. I'll get it. Unless you want to. Okay. Justin Cavalier. Hangover take. Is it the Nuggets' best chance to get a 10-game winning streak in the Jokic era?
Brother, I'm telling you. Wait, did they end the season
Yo.
with what? 1 or 2 wins? 2 wins, right?
Yeah, because they
We're on a
dropped.
5-game win streak.
Wait, did they only won one? Because they dropped
no,
that
one. I
fucking
think
game
one.
against the Spurs.
So it was only one? Are you
Spurs
sure?
was the
because it was the
second to
one,
last one.
the second to
there
last
was-
one they
okay.
punted.
So Spurs was the second to last one.
Yes.
Okay, so they're on a 4-game win streak. This would be incredible.
Yeah. It's in play.
It's in play, man.
That'd be such a Nuggets thing.
The homie Bashir Daoud.
Love this
Y'all
dude.
rock 28 for 104 from 3 line by the 3 or Valhalla. Oh, live by the 3 or Valhalla.
There you go. Nailed it.
I mean, come on.
Nuggets man can make a lot more. You're right, man.
It's just Jordan 420-69. I think this was Jordan last night.
Oh, yeah, I
But
met him. I met him last
I
night.
think this was the guy that gave us
Oh,
the,
gotcha.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
gift.
that was true to his
Hell
his
yeah.
name here.
Hell yeah.
I don't think LeBron had
69?
a chubby kid.
I didn't get that.
Oh boy, was that the play? You guys just didn't hang out with us long enough. I don't think LeBron had a chubby kid from Serbia dominating him on his career bingo card.
Retiring
Sure is
him, man.
wild.
Retiring him.
I know. Thanks for that wink, wink. Peps says, new brightest timeline. Draft Bronny Jr. at 28, then beat LeBron and Lakers next year in sweep to complete the Who's Your Daddy side quest. Wow.
That would be incredible. Actually, you brought
to make his son his daddy?
Well, everybody, that's very bad.
To make
man.
LeBron's son his
then
daddy.
they would have to answer the question, who's your dad?
Yes, man. Oh my
He'd be
And he'd be
forced
like,
to
that
answer.
loser over there, the guy that can't win any games against us. Big Namek, with the groin hits, does Embiid get balls palsy? Little insensitive, but that's what kind of podcast this is, so we appreciate it. Surgeon, our homie, who's hung out in that very back parking lot with us, like you did last night, Miroslav,
Yep.
is Doncic giving away tickets for the Lakers sweep this year as well? Would give away those for 5 minutes at the bar on Saturday. Love you guys. Go Miro.
Go Miro.
Go
I'm
Miro.
telling you, the bar's going to be so fun on Saturday. It's going to be a party if the Nuggets win.
Yes.
It's going to be an absolute vibe here.
Oh, so it's going to vibe out. Our Riz is going to be sus. Cedric Exquisite. Let's sweep LA and send their ass to Mexico. Shut up, haters. Let's go.
Wow, there was a lot there.
Super chat from Cedric Exquisite. He's back. D-Line. I'm copping that Jamal shirt, by the way. Love you. Awesome. You just made that shirt $2 more expensive.
Hey, you know what?
By
Like a
Super
tip.
Chat. It is a tip. Yeah, Jamal made a shot, baby. Jamal made a shot.
Oh, ironically, it feels like he's barely made a shot in the series, though. Game 4 is the chance for him to go
It
off.
didn't
I
say
think
he
it's
made
a Jamal
didn't
game.
say Jamal made shots.
A shot.
Jamal made a shot.
A shot, yeah.
It's actually a literal
It's
shirt.
something. It's
Very accurate.
Something D'Angelo Russell cannot claim.
That's very true.
I mean, an interesting storyline heading into Game 4. D'Angelo Russell, does he play? Does he not play? It's interesting to think
Is
about.
it all his fault?
There you
Who's
go.
the scapegoat?
Well,
Everybody,
The
Friday.
goat, the
Thanks for
goat.
hanging with us. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means here at the bar, chance to close out the Lakers. You're going to want to get here early. Come on. The food's delicious. What's that new sweet honey chicken? What is it called? It's like a honey and spicy chicken. The hot honey sandwich?
Sandwich. Hot,
Hot
honey chicken
But it
sandwich.
has
I'm
like a
telling you guys,
name, right?
banger.
Yeah.
Brand new menu.
Yeah.
You got to come try it out.
Yeah, listen, like again, we've said it before. If you it's been a while since you've been to the DNVR bar, we have upped our game. Our
really
food
have.
is way better. Our service is better. Like
Don't get into all the details because there's, but I'm serious. Like there's no reason for it.
But the reason being is like we've been around. We've like survived. We opened this thing in 2020. Like you want to talk about trial by fire, and we really have hit our stride. So give it another chance. Come back.
Yeah, I don't even know why we're selling it. We are sold out every time.
Oh yeah, don't come. It's too many people.
But it is a great time, and we love seeing all the homies. Everybody, see you on the other side.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.